and in his book, and how this could have jeopardized his chances of F1. Obviously, it didn't do him any harm in the end, but still, it could have done. Now, as a final word to what we'll...
What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video, and today we're going to take a look, for the first time ever, at Kevin Magnussen? Magnussen. I guess we're going to listen to how he says his name, because I don't even know how to say it. This is my first reaction to this F1 driver, obviously, with the departure of Nikita Mazepin in the, is it Urkali oil team? The sponsorship, obviously, with Mazepin's father being one of the main sponsors of the team, and helping get their main sort of, I keep saying the word sponsor, but it is their main money grab from that for the HAAS team. Mazepin has been replaced, he's been removed from the F1 team. People are saying good riddance. People said good riddance in the last F1 video. I don't know enough where I can hate on the man, but Mazepin is his nickname, and so that's got to be a little bit scary. But anyway, he's being replaced by Kevin Magnussen, and I need to learn more about him. I need to know more about these F1 drivers before the season starts, so I can make an accurate predictions video. But you guys gotta let me know your thoughts on him returning to F1 down in the comments below. We might take a look at some of the comments in this video as well. You guys can let me know how you feel about those. Definitely go check out the original. We might go through this once or twice just because it's only a short video, so I want to try to get as much information as possible. Mainly so we can enjoy ourselves once the F1 season starts. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video down in the description below.
So Kevin Magnussen is back. Seeing as I literally have a video coming out tomorrow on the prospect of Nico Hülkenberg coming back to F1, it's safe to say I didn't see this one coming. I'm rushing the script literally minutes after the announcement, so don't expect the usual standard of video here, but I still think it's a good enough topic to warrant a video, even if it is just a short one. So, first of all, why have HAAS chosen to sign Kevin over Hülkenberg, Piastri, Giovinazzi and Fittipaldi?
That was a lot of names, of which I don't know a single one of them. All I know is that the HAAS team has Mick Schumacher, and that their testing in Bahrain is going absolute tits up. They have nothing ready. They don't know what's going on. The car is not set. It's looking like a nightmare. I feel like no matter what driver they're putting into this car, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Well, I think the obvious reason as to why he's beaten Giovinazzi, Fittipaldi and Piastri is to do with his experience, not just in the team but just generally as a Formula 1 driver. As to why he's been picked over Nico Hülkenberg, I think it simply comes down to the relationship he had with the team. Sure, there were ups and downs, or so we're told from his autobiography and the infamous Netflix show, but it's definitely going to come in handy that Kevin probably knows a lot of the staff at HAAS, and they both know what to expect from each other both on and off track. I briefly want to touch on what this means for Kevin's other racing. He was due to start the FIA World Endurance Championship with Peugeot and the IMSA Sports Car Championship with Chip Ganassi, both of which it would be fair to assume that he's now not doing. And I mean, that's fair enough. If I had the choice between driving a Peugeot and a Formula 1 car, I know which one I'm picking. Now, we know that HAAS have sacrificed a 40...
I was going to say, I did not realize that he was like already signed up to do other stuff. That's insane to me that you can just essentially get out of those contracts and go to a different sport. Or if, like the HAAS racing team in F1 has to pay out those contracts. Or like pay those teams to find a replacement driver, or pay for the replacement driver. Like, I don't know how that works in F1, so... yeah, that all seems nutty to me as well.
$1 million per year contract with Uralkali to get rid of Mazepin, so does Kevin offer any sort of money in return for his seat? I mean, I have no idea what the salary is yet, and nor do I know if Jack and Jones, who were his personal sponsors in F1 previously, will be coming in to sponsor HAAS again. I mean, it makes sense, right? And apparently HAAS have already sorted themselves another title sponsor, and if we're putting two and two together, maybe that sponsor will be Jack and Jones. Again, I'm only speculating here, but you can't argue that there isn't a bit of logic involved. Something that I've already seen being noticed is how Kevin Magnussen was quite critical of HAAS, both just on his Instagram and in his book, and how this could have jeopardized his chances of F1. Obviously, it didn't do him any harm in the end, but still, it could have done. Now, as a final word to what will probably end up being the shortest video on my channel, let's have a go at predicting the results for HAAS this year. It's still very early to say who's got the upper hand for the first race, but just taking an educated guess, I'd say that HAAS are going to be around the 7th or 8th best team on the grid this year. Plus, without Nikita Mazepin bringing the average down, they might actually...
Okay. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, Williams, Alpine, I don't see Haas beating any of those. I mean, Mick Schumacher is, I think, a good talent. I need to obviously learn more about him. He's the son of Michael Schumacher, but he had good races. He had good potential last year. Do we think Haas is going to beat any of those teams? I mean, the car looks nice, but does it run well? I don't know. It's all speculation. I feel like I got this right.
Actually score some points. And plus, although it seemed a lot longer, Kevin's only had a year out of the sport, where he's still been regularly racing in other series, so he'll for sure be near the form he was with HAAS, and providing the VF22 is actually half decent, we should be able to actually see some of that form. I'm expecting Kevin to be HAAS's fastest driver this year, purely thanks to his experience, but I do still think it'll be close.
Dude, that looked like a video
neither
game.
Mick nor Kevin are as aggressive as Mazepin was, so even if they are near to each other in the track, I don't think we'll be seeing either of them try to put the other in the bazzers. So I'm going to take a stab in the dark here and say that Kevin will score 8 points this season and finish 14th, while Mick scores 6 and finishes 16th. If I'm right, then I'll look like the most intelligent person in the world, and if I'm wrong, then that's to be expected. In terms of PR, Kevin Magnussen ain't going to be going around wishing happy birthday to deadly diseases and sexually assaulting people, at least I hope not. So HAAS will have one less thing to worry about behind the scenes.
What?
I'd even go so far as to say that K-Mag and Mick will be one of the fan favourite driver pairings this year. That could mean that HAAS generate more money from sponsors and the sale of merch, and sweaty gloves. It doesn't take a genius to see that having a PR-friendly driver means that you can pull in more money. But yeah, this is big news and definitely isn't the news I expected to see at 6 PM on a Wednesday evening, but I'm sure I'm not alone in really liking Kevin, so I'm glad to see him back. Maybe I do buy some HAAS merch after all.
Okay, so was he like a fan favorite before he ended up leaving? A, and B, if he made fun of the company so much, why would they try to bring him back? I mean, there's a familiarity standpoint, and they are obviously stuck in a humongously difficult situation. But that's just nutty to me. Like, if it's a guy who has pretty much burned his bridges on the way out, it's insane to me that he rebuilt those bridges on a last-minute whim. Haas, big brain move. Fire K-Mag since no money. Hires Maz since he has money. Uses money for 2022 car. Fire Maz. And then hire K-Mag. So the 2022 car for Haas must actually be good. If the money that they really invested into it. I mean, yeah. If the car's actually good and they have 2 good drivers for it, that would be it would be one of the biggest big brain last minute moves of like all time. But I just replied to his own Instagram post. That's classic. When you actually admit defeat to your own sneak disses. Finally have an experienced driver sitting in Haas with a reliable benchmark, and then someone Mick Schumacher could probably learn from. Favorite F1 driver is so ecstatic. There's a lot. There's always being let go by Haas, one of the best drivers on the grid, a decent qualifier, and a true racer. Season will be a wake-up call for Schumacher. I think that's the goal, though, isn't it? Is to maybe not thrive with Kevin Magnussen, but to help improve Mick Schumacher, because he's one of those drivers who we really, really want to see, shine, whether it's for Haas or whether it's for a different car in the future. He's one of those drivers that has abundance of potential. And I mean, with a good car and Mazepin no longer trying to take him out, it might work. So let me know what you guys think, though, on Kevin Magnussen. Let me know what I need to know about him. Whether it's like a different video or whether it's like stuff in his past, past results, other drivers or teams, cars, etc. that maybe he's driven with, and his original leaving of Haas. I kind of want to know what that's like and what the reaction was around the grid. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and peace.